Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Many page Bapanas all. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, greeting of years. The Honorable Mr. Dr. Dasep Suprijadi M.Pd, as the first advisor, and Ms. Nisa Fauziah, S.Pd M.Hum, as the second advisor. Thank you for the guides and direction. On this occasion, I am Sylvia Mesya Putri, and my ID number 19-22-02-16. I'm from the English Education Study Program. Here, I will present my thesis defense entitled The Effectiveness of Scientific Approach to Picture Media to Increase Writing Skill of Descriptive Text for Student 10th Grade Senior High School. Here is a presentation outline. The first is background of the research and then research question, objective of the research, hypothesis, methodology, result, and the last, conclusion. The first is background of the research. In the background of the research, there are three sections that are highlighted. The first is writing is important. The second is urgency or gap of the research. And the last is solution of urgency of the research. The first, writing important, there are 3 points. The first is productive English skill, which means writing is one skill that requires maximum concentration and effort. And then point 2, written communication, which means that writing is important to help communicate complex idea more accurately. So the last, academic writing purposes, which means it enhances critical thinking and objectively. And then urgency or gap of the research, researcher are 3 points. First point, lack of student ability to develop ideas in writing, and then students are afraid of making grammatical in the words are their mistake, having a limited English vocabulary. So the last, students have low motivation to learn English. The next, in the solution of the gap or urgency, researchers using scientific approach was chosen based on the 2013 curriculum or curriculum, which demands independent learning from students. This scientific approach is effective to develop student mindset in active them for learning. Next, research question. In this research question consists of 3 of them. Research question number 1, what is the effectiveness of implementation a scientific approach through picture media to increase writing skill for student 10th grade senior high school? And then research question number 2, what are the student response and obstacle faced by senior high school student in grade 10 carrying out writing skill using a scientific approach to picture media? And then research question number 3, how is the implementation of scientific approach to picture media to increase writing skill? Furthermore, there is a research objective here. The research objective consists of 3 points, include first point, to know the effectiveness of scientific approach to picture media to increase writing skill. And then point 2, to identify student response and obstacle in teaching learning writing descriptive text for student 10th grade senior high school. And point 3, to investigate the implementation of scenario in scientific approach to picture media to increase writing skill in grade 10 senior high school. As for this research, it has two hypotheses, consists of HA and null hypothesis. For the HA hypothesis, there are effectiveness of the implementation scientific approach through picture media to increase writing skills student, and H null or null hypothesis, there is no the effectiveness of implementing a scientific approach to increase writing skill students. So, in this research methodology, there are 5 points. First, there is research method, and then research design, and then subject, data collection technique, and data analysis. The first research method, this research use mixed method. Mixed method is a research method between quantitative and qualitative methods to be used together in research activity to obtain more comprehensive, valid, reliable, and objective data. And then research design. Researcher was conducted using a sequential explanatory design. Sequential explanatory designs is a type of combined research where quantitative research is carried out first and then followed by qualitative research. And then subject, the researcher took a sample of 22 students and the researcher focused one class, namely class 10 IPA 1 or 10 MIPA 1. And then data collection technique, the researchers used the test at the first meeting before treatment and the last meeting after treatment. In the questionnaire, the researchers used the questionnaire at the after treatment in the last meeting. And then observation sheet, the researchers used the observation sheet at the first meeting until last meeting. Next, data analysis. For data analysis, quantitative data analysis using SPSS and qualitative data analysis using descriptive statistics. For the location, in this location of the research in MIPMI Wanayasa, Purwakarta. So, here the result. First, the effectiveness of the implementation of scientific approach through picture media to increase writing skill. This is the result which answers research question number 1. First point, the researchers obtained the result of student score, the pre-test, and student score on the post-test. The appraised score of the student pre-test was 509.53, while the appraised value of the student post-test was 88.44. And point 2, in this normality distribution test, normal test results were obtained is due to the result of the Shapiro wheels, significance value of 0.016 in the pretest and for 0.79 in the post-test. And second, the student respond an obstacle page in carrying out writing skill using scientific approach with picture media. In this result, to answer research question number 2, in this 2 point, first point, student respond approach 84 student and was categorized as very positive. And then point 2, some that student page when implementing in this research is the lack student vocabulary in the English. And the last, the implementation of scientific approach through picture media to increase writing skill. This is a result which answer research question number 3. The following is 5 phases of the scientific approach. First, observing, questioning, experimenting, associating, and communicating. For the first, observing, which mean in the observation step, two main activities must be carried out. First, the teacher provide opportunities for students to make observation. Second, the teacher helps students when making observation and so students about things they have to observe from an object. And then questioning, the survey aims to encourage students to actively learn and develop future critical question, improve student ability to make presentation and ask question so that others can answer in systematic, logical, and grammatical manner. And then experimenting. For experimenting include just 3-step preparation, acquisition, and follow-up. And then associating deals with student ability to analyze and associate information and chains in group as well to identify interrelationship patterns between different information. And the last, communicating. For communicating, students carry out the competence to draw conclusion from the fact they have observation and tried before which activities students to do in this step. The last conclusion, first, in this answer, research question number 1, from the phrase pretest score was 59.53 and the mean first test score was 88.44 and the normality distribution test, normal test result were obtained. This was due to the result of the Shafirok's wheel. Significance value of 0.016 in the pretest and 0.079 in the post test. The effectiveness of using the scientific approach to learning writing descriptive text is very effective to increase writing skill. Next, second, in this result, to answer research question number 2, the research of student response in learning using a scientific approach are 84 points with a very positive category. So that response when using this scientific approach was very well received by students. While there are some obstacles when using a scientific approach, namely when students determine vocabulary, grammar, and writing structure to be used. And the last conclusion for answer research question number 3, students who studied with a scientific approach through picture media in writing descriptive text found that students were able to think critically well. Students asked what they did not understanding and they could answer questions from their teacher. Students were able to discuss well and were able to present the results that have been discussed. So, I have presented all the contents of my thesis. That's all my presentation. Thank you for nice attention. Well, I'm ready to answer the question and I hope learn answer the question from the examiner as well as I can. Thank you. Wallahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.